China once stood on the edge of total collapse. Three warlords fighting to become emperor, alliances shattered overnight, generals switching sides, and sworn brothers forced to choose between loyalty and survival. But the most astonishing part, the War of the Three Kingdoms didn't begin on the battlefield. It began with a friendship, and that friendship would help tear China apart. At the end of the Eastern Han Dynasty, corruption consumed the imperial court. Eunuchs sold government posts, warlords carved up provinces, and the emperor was little more than a prisoner in his own palace. The empire was collapsing. But in the chaos, three men made a daring promise. Liu Bei, Guan Yu, and Zhang Fei, three ordinary men from different walks of life, stood in a peach garden and swore an oath of brotherhood, to die on the same day, in the same month, in the same year. But their oath would be tested by a man far more brilliant, far more ruthless. Enter Cao Cao, the warlord who saw the fall of the Han not as a tragedy, but as an opportunity. He raised a powerful army, crushed rivals, and proclaimed that he alone could save the emperor. Some called him a hero, most called him a tyrant. The stage was set, Liu Bei and his brothers fighting for legitimacy, Cao Cao fighting for control, China marching toward war. But victory wouldn't depend on swords, it would depend on a single strategic mastermind. Liu Bei desperately needed an advantage. His territory was small, his forces were weak, and Cao Cao's army numbered in the hundreds of thousands. Then came Zhuge Liang, the sleeping dragon, a young scholar living in seclusion. Zhuge Liang was said to have the brilliance of 10 generals. Liu Bei visited him 3 times, enduring humiliation and rejection, until Zhuge Liang finally agreed to serve. With him came a vision. China must be split into 3 kingdoms, Wei, Shu, and Wu. Balance of power was the only path to survival. But visions are meaningless without war. Cao Cao marched south with an overwhelming army. The land trembled under his approach, and then, the most decisive moment arrived. The battlefield was the Yangtze River. 1 million soldiers under Cao Cao against the allied forces of Liu Bei and the kingdom of Wu, outnumbered, outmatched, and trapped. But Zhuge Liang saw opportunity in the wind. He predicted the exact moment the eastern winds would blow, a phenomenon Cao Cao thought impossible. On that night, the allied forces set their ships on fire and sent them downriver. The flaming fleet slammed into Cao Cao's navy, turning the river into a wall of fire. Boats exploded, soldiers drowned. Cao Cao barely escaped with his life. Red cliffs shattered his dreams of unifying China. It was the most dramatic comeback in Chinese military history. The Allies celebrated victory, but peace never lasts long in the 3 kingdoms. With Cao Cao weakened, Liu Bei seized the chance to carve out his own kingdom, Shu, but his sworn brother Guan Yu became too confident. He launched his own campaign against Wu, Liu Bei's former ally, and was ambushed, captured, and executed. The news destroyed Liu Bei. The oath of the Peach Garden, the promise to live and die together, was shattered forever. Consumed by grief, Liu Bei launched a desperate war of vengeance. It failed catastrophically. He died broken, his dreams slipping away. Yet hope remained in one man, Zhuge Liang. After Liu Bei's death, Zhuge Liang led the kingdom. He wrote new laws, stabilized the economy, and rebuilt the army. Then he began the Northern Expeditions, a series of campaigns to defeat Wei and reunify China. But fate had different plans. In his final campaign, Zhuge Liang fell ill in the field. On his deathbed, he lit a lantern, said to contain his life's last hope. When the flame died, so would Shu's chances of victory. The lantern extinguished silently in the night. Zhuge Liang was gone. Shu collapsed soon after. With Shu and Wu weakened, the last kingdom standing, Wei finally unified China under the Jin dynasty. But the heroes, victories, betrayals, and brotherhood of the 3 kingdoms became legend. And today, the War of the 3 Kingdoms is remembered not as a tragedy, but as China's greatest epic.